Then I opened the door. I called out for my mom, expecting her to come out to give me a hug like she normally would. But she just said, okay, be there in a minute. I waited, and then she came out of her room. I asked why she was home, and she said she had decided to take a day to herself. Then I asked why Rick's car was here. Oh, Rick is just helping with some repairs.
Oh, get real. Give me a break.
I was also expecting when he came in to the front door and was like, Mom, and then she'd be like, I'm coming.
No. Welcome back to Delve Deck Stories. Today we are reading some submissions from people asking for advice.
Oh, yeah. And we are exactly who you want to come to.
Yes, we are all experts on life. All right. Our first story comes from Lena, and it's what's something you actually do want advice about from the original deck. How do I tell my mom I saw my dad on Seeking Arrangements? My parents have been married for probably around 20 years now and have always been the example for what love should be. I just recently turned 19 and had the bright idea that on top of having a full-time job that I could sucker some creepy dudes into giving me money.
She's got a point. She has a point.
Women are objectified our entire lives for free. I figured this would be a good way to at least profit off of their icky behavior. So I made a Seeking Arrangements profile with all my best photos and set the location for a neighboring city. I was, after all, rather afraid of seeing someone I'd known for my whole life on a site for sugar babies and affairs. I'd been having some luck, had a few interested parties, and had actually started receiving an allowance from some of these chumps. All I had to do was send receipts for what I bought with their money. It was great.
That does sound great.
Did you not have to, get naked?
There's some sugar daddies, from what I've heard,
Uh-huh.
who are just like, just knowing what you're doing with my money is enough.
Turns out going to a neighboring city didn't mean I'd be safe from seeing anyone I knew. It meant I would possibly find people trying to hide as well.
That's why you go 3 over.
Mm-hmm. I'm swiping and chatting on the app when suddenly I feel like my eyes have been scooped out with a hot spoon because I'm looking at my dad's face.
Whoa. No. How do you recover?
I wouldn't know what to
It's
do
like
with this
there are
information.
certain atrocities that should be reserved for the first circle of hell, and having a peek in your parents' sex lives is one of them.
His profile says his real name, age, says he has 0 children and is looking to be discreet with an affair.
Damn, you just got erased.
Oh, brother.
You don't exist. You're a mistake. According to that.
Also, just so stupid to go to the next city over if you're trying to have an affair. You've been around long enough. You're old enough. Someone knows your wife and knows your husband.
Dummies.
Yeah.
People cheat in stupid ways.
Also, when you make an alias, you're not supposed to keep it the same name. Guys, got to be smart about this.
Come on.
The same
Be
age,
better
same
with your
name?
affairs.
Oh, God.
I'm puking in my mouth, but also panicking because if I saw his profile, he very likely saw mine.
Even worse, unlocked. Is your dad seeing you in lingerie?
I don't like that at all.
Daddy-like.
No.
Whoa.
No.
That made me want to actually choke on my own
Gabe,
tongue.
what
Gabe.
if you came across your mom's profile wearing lingerie? Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's what you get. That's what you get.
My mom is lovely.
You're thinking about it now, aren't you? You're thinking about it.
I got to leave. I got to go.
When he got home from work that day, it was like we were looking at each other very cautiously. And I know he knows I know. But the question is, does my mom know? He hasn't said anything to me about it yet, but I'm wondering if I should tell my mom or if they maybe have some weird midlife swinger situation going on. Either way, I'm traumatized and have no idea what to do. I think what I would do actually is I would go to my mom and try to kind of subtly be like, hey, I've heard that a lot of people are swinging. What do you think about people doing that? Do you feel like that's a thing?
You're like, Mom, you're never going to believe what piece of hot goss I heard from Kelsey and her mom.
Yeah, apparently they're sweet. And I would try to suss out her. And if she was, and then maybe I'd go from there.
Or I would probably be like, hey, Mom, have you ever tried Seeking Arrangements?
You could also just change your interests in your profile to be like, I'm not a woman, I'm a man. And then
Ooh,
look
and
for the
try
mom.
to find your mom.
Yeah.
Dude,
Detective
then double
work.
traumatized.
Yeah. I don't know what advice we came up with, but I think it was good.
Talk to someone.
Dude.
Call a trusted adult.
Leverage,
Blackmail.
threaten, blackmail, or you try to, make it love again.
Maybe find God.
Okay,
That too.
that's an option as well.
Repent.
Our next story is from
Sounded really
James, and it's what is something you actually do want advice about from the original deck. I think my mom is cheating on my dad with my uncle.
Dang, 2 in a row.
Wow, we got a lot of cheating parents.
Wow.
Brother
Up in
we
this.
love.
My family has always been really close. My dad has a twin brother, Rick, who lived a few blocks away. Growing up, it was always my family and their family spending time together. And as all the kids grew up, that didn't change. We have weekly family dinners and a very active family group chat. About a year ago, I started dating Natalie. I introduced her to my family, and everyone has been getting along great. Then, a few months ago, Natalie asked me if she thought anything was going on between my mom and Rick. I was like, what do you mean by that? And she said, I don't know. They just seem kind of flirty, don't you think? I had never thought about this because that's my dad's twin brother, and I didn't think he or my mom would do something like that. Just pay attention to their behavior next time, Natalie said. I tried to pay closer attention, but I felt like they were just being normal and friendly. So I brushed this off and told Natalie that's just the way my family is.
And so we're assuming identical twins.
Maybe.
I think that would make it even better.
But then a few weeks ago, I went to my parents' house during the day to pick up a jacket I had left there. Well, when I arrived, I was surprised to see my mom's car and my Uncle Rick's car in the driveway. My mom was supposed to be at work. I figured maybe she called in sick or something, but that didn't explain why Rick's car was there.
He was taking care of her.
Yeah, I was going to say, or why he was naked.
Yeah.
He was taking care of her.
Yeah. Then I opened the door. I called out for my mom and there was silence. And then my mom was like, James, is that you? Yeah, I just forgot my jacket, I called back, expecting her to come out to give me a hug like she normally would. But she just said, okay, be there in a minute. I waited, and then she came out of her room. I asked why she was home, and she said she had decided to take a day to herself. Then I asked why Rick's car was here, and she hesitated before saying kind of loudly, oh, Rick is just helping with some repairs.
Oh, get real.
Boom.
Give me a break.
I was also expecting when he answered or came in to the front door and was like, Mom, and then she'd be like, I'm coming.
No.
There's a lot of perfect setups happening in this story, and all of them are making me ill.
At that point, Rick poked his head out of the room and was like, yeah, fixing the sink. I am now pretty sure my mom is sleeping with Rick. I haven't said anything to her or my dad, and I'm not sure if I should. On one hand, it seems like none of my business, and I don't want to ruin my family. But on the other hand, wouldn't my dad want to know?
Unless he's in on it.
Yeah, this is the same thing.
He's like, I cannot satisfy my wife that way anymore, and I need a brother to sub in.
That's entirely possible, or she could be cheating.
She could be cheating. But I like to work on this assumption that,
Also, this is,
everyone's in
again,
on
cheat better. Go to a hotel. What are we doing at our house?
That is a good... It's like, why are the cars in the driveway? Why wouldn't you not park down the block? Why wouldn't you walk? There's a lot of things that makes me think either they're lazy and they think they won't get caught, or they're in on it, dude.
The other uncle's married too, right?
Yeah. Maybe his dad's hooking up with
Swappies.
her.
Oh, maybe it's advanced swinging. So the two options are you either pretend you know nothing or you talk to your mother. But I wouldn't go straight and tell your dad.
No, yeah.
You don't know enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'll get called a liar
It's a good point.
and a loser.
Or all four parents will sit you down and say, look, we need to explain something.
All
to
four
you."
parents.
Yeah. Our next story is from Anne. It's what's something you actually do want advice about from the original deck. Do I tell my boyfriend he might be trapped with a love spell? I think you should, because then your boyfriend can have the option to say, oh, you're crazy. Got it.
So none of you have ever done a love spell.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I did a love spell in college. I was partnered with this dude in a theater class, and I briefly thought about him while I was doing this whole thing, like writing down all the features I wanted. And then we ended up having a thing later, and it was funny because he's like, I don't know what happened. Like, I feel like you put a spell on me, like you're all I think about, this and that. And then winter break came, and I went home, and I feel like the proximity broke the bond or whatever, because he came back and was like, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's proximity attraction. So I believe in this.
Yeah, I feel like men just say things. Let's see. Do we believe in magic today? Not too long ago, I was doing a quick little spell when the full moon was in Venus just to see if it would work. I had a coworker I really liked for a long time, but he never looked twice at me. I don't think I was his usual type and figured a little magic couldn't work. Plus, who's to even say if it's real? So I took a few pieces of his hair from a hairnet he discarded, a piece of paper with his name on it that he wrote. He thought it was for something he had to sign.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. Tell him. Tell him what you were up to. He deserves to know.
Yeah.
I told Matt that I did witchcraft right when we started dating for funsies, just to see what he would do. And he was like, do a spell on me. I said, do it. I want to see if it'll work. Do it. I'm like, well, now I don't want to.
You're like, oh, it doesn't work if you're watching, actually. This happens all the time. Oh, God, if you're watching, it doesn't work.
Well, I can't tell you because then you're just going to do it. And then how do I know if it's my magic or if it's you?
And also printed a photo I had snapped
Okay.
of him. That night, I wrote down everything I wanted in a partner, made a satchel with his hair, ew, yucky, and then sealed it all in an envelope with wax while chanting some love spell that I had bought from the local witch store. Side note, I still can't believe those exist. Less than a week later, and it's like he just realized I existed. He's making eye contact. He's cracking jokes at me. He's certainly flirting. What if she just didn't have the confidence to think that he might be into her, and now that she's done this spell, this has changed her behavior, and now he's noticing her.
Oh, you mean like in Harry Potter where Harry pretends to give Ron the
Yes.
potion and then potion thinks he's...
Yes. Then he asked me out, and we have the most magnificent first date I've literally ever experienced. As our relationship deepened, I asked him what made him finally see me. In his own words, he claimed, it was like something just came over me and you were all I could think about.
They're both real.
They're both-
And magic is real.
Okay.
And love is real.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people don't just say things to get laid. I asked him if he'd ever had interest in me before, and he said, I don't know. It feels like one day all of these feelings just came out, and I'm obsessed with you. The relationship is great. He's very hot, and I'm having a really good time. But I always heard that you can't start a relationship with a love spell in the same way you can't start a marriage with a kidnapping. I'm not even entirely sure it worked, but the sealed envelope is still in its safe location under my bed. I'm not sure if I tell him, would he even believe me? Or should I just open the sealed envelope and see if that frees him from the spell he may be under?
Open the sealed envelope.
Oh, okay. The real issue is that I'm definitely in love with him. I don't want him to suddenly stop loving me. What do I do? Do you want someone to just love you because they're under a spell?
You can't start a marriage with a kidnapping.
Yeah.
So open the envelope, and if he falls out of love with you, just do another one.
You end it Romeo and Juliet style.
What is wrong with you?
That's love, dude.
Don't open the envelope. You tell him what you did, and then he gets to decide if he's chill with it or not. Like, I think that tells you a lot about who he is as a person and whether or not you are actually a long-term fit.
That's fair. You want someone to match your freak.
Yeah. Our next story is from Vince. It's what is something you actually do want advice about from the original deck. Love my roommate, hate his girlfriend.
Ooh, juicy,
Sucks.
juicy.
Uh-oh.
I'm debating whether to move out of my apartment because I can't stand my roommate's girlfriend. I think that's fair. If you have to be around her a lot, it might be bad.
Yeah.
We'll see. My buddy Zach and I have been friends since high school and got our first apartment together last year. Love our place. It's close to work and in a cool neighborhood. And Zach has been a great roommate until Sarah came along. Zach started dating Sarah a few months ago, and I have tried to get along with her, but I am so sick of her that it's making me not want to be in my own apartment. She makes messes and doesn't pick up after herself. She is around all the time, and she isn't even that nice to Zach. She makes snide comments about his appearance. She makes him get rid of his Warhammer figures because she told him it's childish. She makes fun of him, and then she says she is just joking, but it takes all of my self-control not to go off on her.
Oh, she hates her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Hates him. You want someone to match your freak.
Yeah. Maybe she thinks she is funny, but I think she is just mean to him.
I think she's just mean too.
She's a mean girl.
A few weeks ago, I came home and Sarah is eating pancakes on the couch wearing my brand new sweater that I got for myself and getting syrup on it. I was like, where did you get that sweater? And she goes, I found it. It's Zach's. I was like, no, it's actually mine. She goes, well, it was in Zach's room, so I thought it was his. She is totally lying. The sweater just came in the mail and I hadn't even opened it yet, but I know it's the sweater I ordered. She probably opened it assuming it was his, even though my name was on it,
So she's
and took
illiterate
it.
too.
Yeah, she can't read.
An illiterate felon.
It's a really soft, expensive sweater, and I was looking forward to wearing it. I was like, I am pretty sure that's a sweater I ordered online, and it came in the mail yesterday, and pulled up the order confirmation email to show her it was definitely my sweater. Sarah goes, well, maybe Zach has a similar one. I don't see what the big deal is. It's not your sweater. It's obviously too small for you. It wouldn't even fit you. Zach was out when all this happened. Apparently, he'd gone to the store for her. So I went to my room before losing my shit with Sarah and texted him and told him about the sweater. He apologized and said he'd get me a new one, but I'm sick of this entitled bitch being in our apartment, taking things that don't belong to her, making a mess, being rude, and complaining about everything. I have tried to talk to Zach about Sarah and asked him why they can't hang out at her place, or to at least get her to be more considerate. He tells me he will talk to her, but nothing changes.
Okay.
It really sucks when you have a roommate, it's a good situation, and then they like start bringing this partner around, and it's like, this isn't who I agreed to live with.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're there that often. Like,
Are you paying the rent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was exactly gonna say that.
At the very least, I'll be like respectful of your stuff.
Yeah, and clean up after myself.
Yeah, and not steal your sweater.
You'll either never know I'm there or I'm going to be your favorite roommate without being a roommate.
I am strongly considering just moving out, but I also don't want to ruin my friendship with Zach and keep hoping maybe they will break up.
Well, he's kind of ruining it right now.
Yeah.
You know your roommate's uncomfortable. You said you'd have a discussion. Nothing is changing. Stop bringing the bitch around or
Yeah,
stop
I
fucking.
feel like moving out isn't gonna probably ruin your friendship. It's just like, this isn't working for me. Like, we can keep being friends,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Because here's what's going
Yeah.
to happen. He moves out. The friend stays. She potentially moves in. Now it's their place. He can never go over there because all of these crazy traumatizing memories.
Well, then they hang out away from her.
No,
But
but,
she won't
she's
let
always going to
them.
be there. She's always going to be
God.
lingering around.
Yeah, no, it sucks when your friend starts dating someone who sucks. It's one of my least favorite things. It makes me so mad. And then some of them get married and have babies. And you're just like, why did you do this to me? I also worry he will marry this monster and ruin his whole life. This is the first serious relationship he has ever had, and I am worried he will settle for her. But I know he could do better. None of our friends like her, but anytime we try to talk to Zach about her, he makes excuses for her. How much longer is reasonable to wait before giving up on this living situation? I want to say first relationship and you're younger, they may get married, but if all of his friends hate her and you're young and this is your first relationship, I think the
You'll be
cards
okay.
are in our favor that they'll break up. May not, but
That's what I think.
also I would get out of that living
Yeah.
situation because that seems
I mean-
awful.
I mean, at
You don't
least-
have to put up
At least
with
have
that.
like a brochervention, you know? Like you just sit down, give it in.
He was like, yeah, we all do this.
Dude, don't you all have fucking brocherventions? You sit down with your bros, you know, your pals.
Well, I think
and they
also
tell
what you
what's
could
up.
be like is just like, hey, I know we've talked about this, but like, I am going to move out. It is for this reason. Like, be open about why you're
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah, advocate for
I
yourself.
think I would kind of give a bit of an ultimatum and be like, this
Yeah.
is what
Strike
it
rule.
is.
If
Yeah.
I'm unhappy in my living situation, I am a nightmare.
No, it's
Yeah.
not
so
fair.
I won't do it.
That's a safe space for you. Like, you need to be able to come home to a space that is like comfortable for
So not
you.
some random
yeah.
wench eating pancakes, getting syrup all over your
I
new
mean, if
sweater.
you're paying a considerable amount of your income every month
If
to
you're
this
paying-
place
yeah,
where you're like, I want to
anything.
sleep and relax and be, content. I shouldn't have to compromise,
No.
especially if like I walked in with a different situation.
Not on something like that,
You know?
yeah. Our final story is from Laura, and it's what is something you actually do want advice about from the original deck. I'm pretty sure my friend deserved to get fired. I have this friend, let's call her Mary, who is really bad about taking accountability for her actions. But we've been friends since elementary school, so I am willing to put up with her behavior. Mary is never able to hold down a relationship and is always complaining to me about how toxic other people in her life are. We are now in our late 30s. I am married with kids and a stable career, but Mary is still all over the place. However, she no longer seems content with this and is regularly asking me how I do it. I tell her that relationships are about compromise, and she claims she does that. I tell her how hard I work, and she says she does too, but no one appreciates her. I feel like it's that saying, like, if you smell it everywhere you go, look under
Maybe
your
it's
own
you,
shoe.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, for the past year, Mary worked at this advertising agency doing office management. She was really excited about this job at first, but within a month, she was back to complaining. Her boss was out to get her, and all her coworkers hated her. I felt bad, but I also kind of felt like maybe they were in the right. She would show me screenshots of messages from her boss getting mad at her for not ordering office supplies on time and double booking conference rooms. She's totally out to get me, she'd say. All the computer systems are broken. It's IT's fault.
This is like the people who complain about DEI hires being the reason they don't have a job when they just suck.
Yeah.
It should be merit based.
Yeah.
Okay, bro.
They're like, how about you be good at your job then?
Yeah.
And I'd sympathize with her, but in my head, I was like, it sounds like you aren't doing your job. She would also tell me that her coworkers were gossiping behind her back, but as far as I could tell, she's the one who started it. Then last month, she got fired for failing to improve after being put on a performance improvement plan. I've been listening to her complain every night, but it's starting to wear on me, and my husband is like, you gotta tell her to get it together. I have no idea if I should tell her that it seems like she needs to make some serious changes or not. I want to help her, but anytime I've tried to give her tough love in the past, she gives me the silent treatment for months.
Oh.
That's
Anytime
toxic.
someone thinks they can punish me with a silent treatment, they are literally never hearing from me ever.
Right.
Ever,
it's
ever
so
again.
toxic.
It's
so
so
toxic.
childish.
It's just like, use your words.
It's also like if like you're coming to your trusted friend, probably the only one you have since you're so difficult, and she's like, yeah, maybe you're the issue, and you're like, no, I'm gonna put you in the corner until you learn that I'm not the issue.
Yeah.
It's like get her a burn away cake where when you light the center on fire, it burns away and says, you are the problem. That's how I would address this.
She's my best friend and I love her, so I don't want to lose her, but I'm also at my wit's end. When I've gently suggested therapy, she says she isn't the type of person who would benefit from therapy because she's too smart for that sort of thing.
Give me a break.
So what should I do? Give her some tough love or continue to be a shoulder to cry on when she inevitably does this again?
Get new friends.
Yeah, I feel like especially like we're in our late 30s at this point.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to be putting
And
up
also
with
with
that.
people like this, like they will push you and they will punish you for advocating for yourself. And the second you're like, no, I don't care about getting back in your good graces. I don't care about. Then they'll be like, wait. And they'll try to reel you back in. So
Yeah.
just maybe choose yourself and let her fucking suffer. Like
It's
I
also
don't.
toxic, manipulation. You shouldn't have to go through that. And so like, yeah, it's like either, be the shoulder. You're like, no, you've
It's
done
a-
it for clearly the lifetime of an adult.
Yeah.
You've been friends and best friends, at least for your standard. And so when it comes to like dealing with it, I'd be like, no, fuck it. Like you have the hard conversation to say like, hey, look, you don't respect me. You don't value me. You just, use me whatever, or you don't whatever this, whatever that, like, hash it all out. Or just be like, yeah, it's just not even worth it anymore. And come to the
Yeah.
realization that this person's just
Yeah,
like,
maybe there
not
doesn't
good.
even need to be a talk
Yeah.
about it, but it sounds like this person is literally like smearing shit on the walls and being like, it's so gross in here.
I mean, you could also
Like,
test it out and
silent
be
treatment.
like, what happens if I did not initiate, like, the hangout or the conversation, and see how long it would take that other person to then reach out to me.
Yeah, this person just sounds
then
incredibly
be like, all right,
narcissistic and
yeah.
manipulative, and I would just get new friends.
Yeah.
Or at least get rid of that one, because having no friends is better than having a friend who fucking hates you.
That is it for Delve Deck Stories. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, you can like, subscribe, and check out some of our other videos. And if you have a fun story or some advice that you would like, you can go ahead and share that at share.delvedeck.com, and we might read it on an episode.
Okay, bye.